Hi, this is Tyler Whitaker. I'm the CTO and COO for Leading to Lean. Today I've got Devin Baldwin, one of our product managers, one of the members of our team. Devin, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Tyler. I'm glad to be here. And thanks for everybody joining from all around the world. This is definitely a memorable experience for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. The last couple months we've been working on separate aspects of the product. So I'm excited to catch up with you and share what we've been working on with the rest of the team.
Yeah, the developers have been working really hard on updates that I'm going to be showing today, including a new module. So I'm really excited to show that off.
Yeah, and as you know, I've been working with the sales and marketing team on a project to really understand how our customers are being so successful and why our product is such a game changer. So let's just jump into it. So one of the things we've been learning in talking with industry analysts is that there's a gap in the industry. When it comes to Industry 4.0, most of the solutions out there are really focused on the machine aspects of production and really neglect the people and the process side. And what we've really come to understand is that our LAS product is really more of an MES for the people, the process, and the workflow. And when you augment the existing software stack and the machine-centric approach of Industry 4.0 with the people, the process, and the workflow, you really get a very different result. And I think that's really where the success is coming from. So as we've taken this approach, our approach to Industry 4.0, to some of the visionaries in the industry, such as Henrik von Schiele, who's the father of Industry 4.0, he's really confirmed that this is the right view, that we can't neglect the people and the process that surrounds the mechanics, the machinery that does produce the parts. So as we've looked at the industry in general, we actually went out and did an enterprise software survey where we surveyed manufacturing IT folks and operations folks. And by and large, the enterprise software solutions that are out there are really failing to deliver on the promises that they're making and the benefits of Industry 4.0. And we believe this is really geared around what we believe is the basis of manufacturing success, which is a combination of the machines, the people, and the workflow. And when you start looking at the industry software stack, the ERP solutions, the MES solutions, the SCADA IoT solutions that are available really are machine focused. And what they leave behind is the people in the workflow. And so what you end up finding is that on the shop floor, we've got tick sheets and whiteboards and paper processes and tribal knowledge that really is the glue that holds everything together. And that's what the LES platform really brings to us, is the ability to bridge that gap and provide a more holistic solution. So how does L2L work? When we look at existing infrastructure that's in place today, what we find is that there's this existing software stack. Every plant has that in place. And yet we still find manual methods that are being used outside of those systems to resolve issues, signal workflows, to start and to coordinate and collaborate between teams, to manage the shop floor. This chaos on the plant floor is like rush hour traffic in a third world country. It's every man for themselves. Our platform really digitizes and standardizes these people workflows using a more of a digital workflow management approach. So let's take a look at what this looks like from an IT perspective. If we're looking at the software stack in any manufacturing environment, the ISA 95 standard is a good way to really describe that. And what ISA 95 does for us is it shows us kind of a layered approach to existing software in the manufacturing environment. That existing software really tends to be siloed and broken out by department, with little cross-functional team collaboration. And so shop floor management systems tend to be at level 4, which is why we sometimes get compared to MES. But what our LES platform really does for us is it allows us to take any of the issues that surface in those existing solutions and provide a standardized response plan and workflow around how do you respond and resolve those issues. And so if we look at this from an IT to OT to IT convergence, what we're really seeing is a macro trend in the industry where the OT systems, the shop floor systems, and the IT systems, which are typically traditionally the front office systems, they're starting to converge, and we're starting to share a lot more data there. And we're starting to see this digital transformation journey that's occurring between more existing systems and manual interactions to a more fully digital solution. And so if you look at what we bring to the table, we're really at the cornerstone of IT and OT convergence and digital transformation. And so we really think that this is why our customers are being so successful, is because we're able to digitize those plant floor solutions, plant floor processes and workflows in a way that really drives continuous improvement. So when we talk about workflows, what are we really talking about? This is a kind of a partial list of the critical workflows that we see in every manufacturing environment. And what you'll notice here right off the bat is that some of these are machine related, some of these are maintenance related, making sure that the production process is running. But most of these are actually people related, maybe even front office or compliance related. They're support functions. And so what we really end up seeing is that there's so much more that goes on within a plant that really needs some good organization and digitization to be able to drive continuous improvement. And when we break those critical processes and workflows down, what we really find is that a very small subset of those that we're seeing in our existing customer base are maintenance related. As you look at the list here, every department is represented in a manufacturing plant. These are coming from existing mature customers that have established ERP systems. They have MES in place. They have SCADA. They have IoT solutions in place. And yet they're using the Leading to Lean platform to really pull those all together and to unify every department within the plant in a way that increases the flexibility and the responsiveness, decreases the downtime, increases the throughput. And that's really where we're finding a tremendous amount of success. So when we look at our product suite, this foundational layer that we call Cloud Dispatch that allows us to really stitch together all of these process and workflows is what every one of you are using today. And on top of that, we've built a pretty wide range of optional modules that you can deploy as you need them, that can fit some very specific needs, from a maintenance perspective, from a production perspective. We've got skills, lean tools. And today we're going to be announcing our new project management module. And so I'm going to let Devin talk a little bit more about that.
Thanks, Tyler. I'm going to come clean. I feel like I'm the lucky one because I get to show off our new product management module. Our developers have been working on this project for the past couple of months, and it's turned out really well. Just to give you guys a little background, we decided to build this new module to provide our customers with new tools to manage large projects in L2L. I'm sure that quite a few of you who are here at the conference are actually already using our work order module for this very purpose. We've added 6 new tools that will help you through different aspects of project management. So they'll help you plan, execute, and report on your projects. Let me show you what it looks like. I'm going to go through this module pretty quickly, so if I don't talk about something that you find interesting, just leave a question and we'll try to get to it during the QA portion. So the first screen I want to show you is our new planner screen. This screen shows you a list of all of the active projects in your plant. There are a few columns that give you a quick pulse on your projects, and there are quick links over here on the right to other pages in the project management tool. And I'll show you each of these in just a minute. Let me go ahead and open up one of these projects to show you more. Right away, you can see that this project is just a normal work order. The only difference here is that we've marked a project work order checkbox right here. This allows the work order to show up in the project filters on other screens. We've added a resource planner to the work order screen. This project work order only has one resource, which is the team lead for the project. Let me open up the child work order to show you what that looks like. This child work order has more resources assigned to it. This resource section makes it super easy to plan who will do the work for the work order. Each of these resource rows will actually show up on a new calendar we built, which I'll show you in just a minute. Moving on, we've added a dependencies section. This dependencies section makes it possible to define sequence of work. We also use this dependency information to build a Gantt chart, again, which I'll show you in just a minute. And finally, we've added a scheduled machines section, so you can schedule out machines that aren't bolted to the ground. Scheduled machines will show up in the calendar as well. So let's go back to the parent work order so I can show you the other screens. Let's take a look at the Kanban screen. This Kanban screen shows you all of the child work orders for a project, and you can actually see work orders for more than one project by adding it to the filter like this. Okay, let's go on to the next screen. This is the dashboard. The dashboard gives you a snapshot view of a project. We've built 3 widgets for the launch, and we plan on adding more in the future. This screen is pretty self-explanatory, so I'll move on to the next screen. So here's the Gantt chart screen. This screen is made to show one or more projects to help you negotiate conflicts. Let me just add another project to show you what that looks like. And I'll go ahead and expand each of these projects. So each of the green boxes here represents a work order. I can expand out a work order to see the scheduled resources and the scheduled machines. You can imagine what this might look like if I had a team of 20 or so technicians all working on different projects. You can filter the screen by resource trade or even by an individual resource to help manage by team or by a single technician. I have 3 more screens I want to show you, so let me go ahead and go back. And I'll open up the cost summary report. So we've added this work order cost summary report to help you follow the economic impact of a project. Some of these numbers used to be on the work order screen, but we moved them to this screen and we added a few more numbers. This screen will show you totals for your labor costs, your spares costs, and external costs, as well as a sum of those numbers for all of the descendant work orders. And then at the bottom, we sum up everything to make it easy to see if you're within your budget. You can see that I'm still below my budget on this project. So let's go back to the project work order one more time so I can show you the labor summary report. This report is very similar to the cost summary report, only it reports on time instead of money. You can see here that I've got a list of resources for the project work order at the top with their estimates and actuals. Estimates are pulled from the work order resource planner, and actuals are pulled from dispatches. Right below that is a checklist section. I'm going to show you checklists in just a minute, but let me explain how this section works real quick. We've added the ability to add time estimates on checklist tasks, and the estimates roll up to this report as estimated hours. Once a task is complete, the work order gets credit for earned hours, and that'll show up here. Below the checklist section, you'll see that we've rolled up all of the time data from the descendant work orders, and then we total all the numbers at the bottom. Now I want to show you something a little more exciting. I'm going to show you the new resource calendar. I currently have the calendar filtered by a few resources that are all part of a specific skill, but you can filter the resources on the calendar by shift, skill, trade, or even by individual resource. It's super flexible. Resources are listed down the left side of the screen. We've included the resources trade for context, and we also show how many conflicts need to be resolved. The main body of the calendar shows what the resources are scheduled to work on for any given day. Work orders are green, schedules are blue, and dispatches are gray. This is a super concise way to see what your team members are working on. You can see that this user was assigned to a dispatch that's still open. I'm going to go to the previous day so you can see when the dispatch was launched. Looks like it was created yesterday afternoon. You probably noticed that the boxes on this screen are a little bit different. Once an item is complete, we lighten the background color so you can distinguish between complete and incomplete tasks. Let me go back to the current day. One of the objectives of the screen is to make it easy to assign work. I have a work order at the top of the screen that is unassigned. I'm going to assign it to my available resource by dragging and dropping. You can drag and drop to assign or reassign a resource, and you can even set the scheduled time by drag and drop. From this one screen, you can literally schedule an entire day of work for a whole team. I want to show you the view options to show you how powerful this calendar is. I'm currently showing you the calendar from the context of a resource. You can actually change the view to show the calendar for lines, machines, or even scheduled machines on work orders. We've also built in a comprehensive set of filters so you can filter out what you don't need. I wish I had time to show you more, but I have to move on. Okay, now on to checklists. We've made two pretty substantial enhancements to checklists. I've already talked briefly about the first one. You can add estimates to each of your tasks by trading duration, and then that rolls up to the labor report on the work order. We've also added two new question types to the checklist, a table and dynamic table. So this allows you to combine repeating tasks in a grid format to save on space. The table question type lets you add rows to the table when editing the checklists, and the dynamic table will allow the table to be dynamically expanded when a user fills out the checklist. So let me show you what that looks like from a dispatch. I'm going to go back to my project and open up one of my dispatches that has checklists attached. Okay, so you can see the top table here is a table type. I added all of these rows in the template. The second table is a dynamic table. So as I'm filling out the checklist, I can add as many rows as I need. So I've just scratched the surface of the capability of our project management tool. I've shown you the planner, the Kanban screen, the Gantt chart, the dashboard, the cost summary and labor summary reports, and I also showed you some of the capabilities of our calendar. Before I move on, Tyler, can you share with us your vision of how you see customers using our project management tool?
Yeah, Devin, I think that's going to be a really exciting new module, actually. So we have a number of customers that have been traditionally doing outage or holiday upgrades in their plants, and they've been using all different types of tools. And now they'll have one tool within Dispatch that's integrated to be able to manage these larger projects, to be able to staff them appropriately, to be able to make sure they're resource leveled. I think there's some really great, exciting things there. We also have some customers that do production in a very different way that's more of a project-based production type of scenario, where they're building one great big giant machine, where they're building trucks, they're building jetways. And in these scenarios, the project management module will actually be useful for them to do production with. And so we are calling that a project-based production, and it fits right in line with what the project management module does. And I think it'll be really exciting for those customers. So if you are interested in this, if this is something that piques your interest, please contact your account rep or your support rep, and we'll get you a demo. We'll help you learn more about this and how it might apply in your teams.
Awesome. Thanks, Tyler. I just have one more thing I want to cover. I want to take a few minutes to review the enhancements we've made to the dispatch screen over the past few months. As I pull the screen up, a few of you will probably notice right away that this is slightly different than the dispatch screen you see on your server, and that's because I'm giving you a preview of what we're going to be releasing in a few weeks. We started upgrades to the user interface back in 2019. We wanted to make the dispatch screen easier to use on more devices. The vast majority of our users use desktops and laptops to access dispatch. Most of our customers have tablets roaming around their plants to access dispatch. And we're now starting to see more and more users access dispatch from their smartphones. We now have more people accessing dispatch from their iPhones than their iPads. So this was our main goal. We wanted to make our system easier to use on more devices. I'm going to take just a minute to go over the changes we made over the last 12 months. So first of all, in July last year, we released the new header and side navigation. The side navigation was collapsible, which gave some real estate back to mobile users. After that, we reworked the new dispatch form and made it available from every page in dispatch. That way, there would be no delay to report abnormalities. All you have to do now is click the green New Dispatch button at the top of the screen, and a form pops up for you to enter a new dispatch. Then we started working on the dispatch screen. Right around the holidays, we updated the dispatch header bar to be more consistent with the rest of our app, and then we pulled the filter onto the dispatch screen itself. In March, we added a bunch of power features to the dispatch screen. So first of all, we upgraded the filter so you can save your filters. We froze the header row and pagination control so that they won't disappear when you scroll down the screen. And then we added some settings to customize the screen. So now you can customize the text size, and you can turn on users' avatars. You can hide the area ribbon. And the big one is you can hide dispatch fields that you don't need to see. That way you can customize your screen to only show what you need to see. And when you hide a field on the option menu, it doesn't completely go away. We added an expand icon to each dispatch row, so you can expand the dispatch to see the hidden fields. That brings me to what we're working on right now. As you can see, we added the new header and the side navigation to the dispatch screen. And when you click the new dispatch button, you get the same pop-up that you get on the other screens to create a new dispatch. We've also been working on our mobile experience. Let me show you what this looks like on my phone. We've gone through every aspect of this screen to make sure it's mobile friendly. For starters, we automatically hide most of the columns, so you don't have to scroll to the right. All of the data is still there. You can just expand it like you can on the desktop view. Let me show you what the new dispatch form looks like on my phone. We've updated the new dispatch form so it works well on mobile screens. Here's a tip, by the way. If you need to see more details on your phone, just turn it sideways. We're almost done with this next phase of development on the dispatch screen. You should see these changes on your server in the next few weeks. Okay, that's all I've got for the project management module and for the dispatch screens updates.
Awesome. Thanks, Devin. That was a great update. I think we have some time here. Let's take some questions.